Well, hello, it's Wednesday, so it must be time for Woolly Hat's Wednesday Whip. And you join me here in the conservatory, listening to the rain falling on the window, because after 2 days of glorious sunshine, we now have rain. Anyway, be nice to see sunshine and spring-like flowers and birds and songs and things like that, so that's great. What have I been doing? Well, first of all, apologies for not sending you a Wednesday Whip last week, and that's because I was in South Wales around Carmarthen. Mr W and I were walking around the coast of Wales as is our plan, and we went from Tenby to Bury Port over a number of days. And the first day was glorious, lovely views all the way to the Gower. Next few days were not quite as glorious and quite soggy in places, both from the ceiling, from the sky, and also down on foot as well. So, but however, we went and we saw some places we've never seen before. There's a whole load of castles down there, and the Normans were very, very busy. So if you ever pop down there, there's some quite nice castles to visit. So that was Larne, spelt Laugharne, Llan, Steffan and Kidwelly all have brilliant castles. Carmarthen has a castle, but it's only a frontage, and behind is a very strange council offices that looks a bit like a French palace. Anyway, so that was my excuse, and I was very wet and bedraggled, and even though I did a little bit of knitting, it wasn't a lot. What I did do though was I finished a sock for Mr W. Now, some of you might know that in the past I knitted a sock for Mr W using some lovely wool from Ewan Ply in Oswestry called Leg Ends, and it was lovely blues and greens and oranges. And I then went to knit the second one, and then went to look for the first one to see if I got the right length, and I couldn't find it. Anyway, I finished the second sock and I still couldn't find the first sock, so I have given up and I have knitted a third sock. Anyway, we're now expecting the first sock to emerge, so Mr W will now have 3 socks, and he can choose which one he wants to wear. Now, I can't show you them because Mr W is actually wearing them, and he's in Aylesbury at the moment, which is a long way from where we are now. Anyway, so there we go. And when I get a chance, I will show you the third sock and the second sock, and possibly even the first sock, but there we go. So I've also been doing some other sock knitting. I was having a rummage in my sock wool drawer, which is bulging, partly with balls of wool that I haven't even started knitting with, but partly with remains of balls of wool or yarns, skeins of wool that I have been knitting with. So normally a skein, 100 grams of 4-ply knitting yarn, I've got it here with me, for socks will do a good 2 socks and possibly a third one, depending on how high you knit, whether it's knee high or just ankle high. And certainly if you put a different colour for the rib, the heel and the toe, you can probably get 3 socks out of a yarn, a ball of sock yarn. So I've got lots of sort of 1 sock's worth of yarn, lots of different wool. So I thought, what can I do? So I've started knitting what they call scrappy socks. So here's a scrappy sock. So this is a combination of yarn by the Yarn Badger, and I bought some more of her wool at the East Anglian Yarn Festival the other week. So there we go. So there is a scrappy yarn. So I've used 1 ball there and 1 on the bottom, and I've got the other one. I've started doing the second one as well. So you don't have to make them match at all when you're doing scrappy socks. You just combine the colours that you really like. But I thought this was quite nice because it's all got purpley bits in and things like that. So there you go. I think that sock was a pair I knitted for Anna Marie. Hello, Anna Marie. And this was a pair of socks I knitted for me. And the colourway is called Allotment Produce, and very appropriate really, because I was down the allotment yesterday. So that's that. So the other thing I've been doing is I've been looking at things that I haven't finished yet. I was just talking to somebody today about not being a complete finisher. Starting a new project is much more exciting than finishing it. Anyway, I found this is Rowan Island Fine Black. Say that again. Rowan Island Blend Fine, and it's a mixture of Falkland Fine Merino wool, yum, baby alpaca. Oh, no alpacas were harmed in the making of this, and silk. So some rather yummy one, and if only you had stroke vision, this is so lovely and scrummy. Now the reason I've got this is because I got 2 free 50-gram balls the last time I went to Blacksheep, because I bought so much Rowan produce. So there you go. So there's enough to make a hat. So this is the pattern. no it's not, that's the front. So it's using a slip stitch to create the texture, so it's not like a moss stitch. So, and it's all knit, so that's quite nice, and it's on straight needles. But I've got to the stage where I start reducing, and I did start reducing last night. It was quite late and I went all wrong, so I undid it. Thought, no, I need fresh eyes on this. It's not a complicated reduce, it's just it involves counting. And after a long day of doing lots of jobs, counting is less accurate than perhaps at the beginning of the day. So I might try doing some of that later. And that's a quick one to finish, and that's another project ticked off the list. What else have we been doing? Well, this nice fine weather we've been having is ideal for washing your woolens. So if you've got some jumpers that need washing, it's a good time. Well, not today because it's raining, because you have all day to dry them. So I've been doing a lot of washing of throws that I've had. So this is my spirally one. Here's a chance to show you my lovely spirally crochet blanket. So yes, I've washed this one. And all I do is either in a big bowl or the bath, put a little bit of detergent, not too much, and lots of lukewarm water, not hot water, because I don't want to felt or melt my yarn. Even for acrylic, if you put it too hot, you melt the acrylic, which is not good. And I leave it in there to soak. I don't ruffle it around too much, because again, especially if you've got a wool in there, you might end up felting it. So I leave it in there for a while, then drain it, and then thoroughly rinse it. So you might need 2 or 3 rinses until you can't see any bubbles or dull in the water. So I've been doing, as you can imagine, I've got quite a lot of throws around the house. So I've been doing that, and they've come up nice and fresh, which is good. I tend not to put fabric conditioner in because I don't. But I have heard a tip somewhere putting bicarbonate of soda in to freshen up, certainly with socks like that, to freshen up or give a bit of extra freshness to your woolen socks. So I might try that next time I go. So bicarbonate of soda is a big thing. You can do it in all kinds of things, I believe, down the sinkhole in your grouting. So don't use that bleach, use that bicarbonate of soda. So I've been doing lots of washing and drying, and with these throws, yeah, occasionally you'll see a little end. Oh, there's a little end that I failed to catch first time around, so I can tuck that in. And also if any of the seams have started to come apart, where we've sat down heavily on it and it's not quite lasted the weight. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing this week. It's going to be Easter this weekend, so I hope you have a lovely Easter weekend, and hopefully some nice downtime to do a bit of crochet or knitting, perhaps even crochet or knit a little duck or a hen or an egg, whichever you want to do, or just sit there and scoff your chocolate Easter eggs. Mr. W and I do exchange Easter eggs. I give him an egg and he gives me a bit of his, because I'm trying not to eat too much chocolate. And one year I gave him beet shelter. I didn't like that at all, so next year it had to be 2 chocolate eggs instead. So there we go. So do have a lovely Easter. I will see you next week, hopefully with a bit more sun, and it looks as though it could be quite nice over the weekend as well, so do enjoy. See you later. Bye bye.